The U.S. empire is the biggest terrorist entity on Earth, along with its puppet arm, the terrorist state of piss-ray hell. And we've just been overwhelmed with so many freaking scandals, it's not even fucking funny. But there is one part of this godforsaken country that is crumbling faster than anywhere else in this nation, and that is California. If the U.S. empire doesn't fall, California is gonna fall first. What's up, everybody? It's Zach The Celtics Guy here. So, after completing my long overdue episode that I wanted to do about reading this book on the American Empire, which again, thank you, Nicholas, for recommending it to me. Much appreciated, brother. I just completed that. This video's uploading as it speaks. So that video being uploaded. So that video will probably be out by the time this video gets uploaded. I don't know which one will come first, but this video was made after my reading of this book, episode 1. But anyway, we all know that the U.S. empire is the world's biggest terrorist. We all know that. They are. I mean, this book pretty much speaks for itself. Past history and all that and much more. But we all know. We all know just how horrific it is. More than 2/3 of people living in this country live paycheck to paycheck. Now, think about that for a second. They say capitalism is so great, right? But if capitalism was so great, if capitalism was working so well in America, then why do so many people struggle to live paycheck to paycheck? Why is that? Now, you might be thinking, well, Zach, you don't live paycheck to paycheck. Yeah, I don't. I don't live paycheck to paycheck, and neither does Steven. But just because we're fortunate doesn't mean that we're just going to sit there and be, oh, those people, fuck them. Like, no. I feel for those people, and it sucks, because this is the kind of country that we are living in. Because you would think that in this country, with all of the stuff that's going on, you would think that, right? You would think that in a country where more than 2/3 of people living paycheck to paycheck, and there are tents that are forming under every single bridge in this fucking country, you would think that all hell would break loose. You would think that we would be spending less time worrying about what government Syria has or what government that Nicaragua has, because they have a government that doesn't go with the U.S. way. So, because we stage chemical attacks in Syria, because we arm Nazis in Ukraine, because we arm right-wing thugs in Nicaragua, because we give aid and comfort to feminazi fucktards in Iran to overthrow their government, because we provoke North Korea with our provocative South Korea-Japan alliance military bases and training on their fucking borders and infiltrating our influence in the South China Sea to provocate against China using Taiwan as a proxy while we go bitch and moan about Uyghurs and concentration camps that just don't fucking exist. So you would think that all of this stuff that's going on, all hell would be breaking loose. But it doesn't seem that. It seems like too many people are too busy on social media or on their phones or whatever they're doing, because we don't know. Because you'd think that all hell would break loose. We're too worried about a Chinese spy balloon. We're too busy worrying about what government this one has. We're too busy worrying about this. You know that California is more worried about red states than it worries about its own damn place? Well, all the people are going to red states. They're not going to red states because that makes the red states more on their side. They're just going there because they're trying to find a place that they can live, a place that they can afford. That's the problem. And there's no place in this country that is worse than California. I say that as a leftist. California is not even a leftist state, okay? Let's be honest. We can sit there and say, yeah, they're run by Democrats. Obviously, they're run by Democrats. They're run by Democrats from the top to the bottom, but that's not working. The Democrats that run California are corporate. They are corporate, bought up by corporate interests. They are corporate fucking whores, and they're run by corporate interests, and that's what they've been doing, fucking up California for decades and decades. You could say that some of them are too liberal when it comes to criminal justice. Oh, hell yeah, absolutely. Doing this stuff like letting repeat violent offenders out on the streets and not tackling the homeless problem and not doing anything. Well, the way you could tackle the homeless problem is to simply fund and help with the homeless. You could just simply do that, and you would not let people camp out in the streets. You just say, oh yeah, just camping out in the street is just totally no problem. It's just no problem. We're just going to let you build your own tent community under every bridge in California and in all these other places. Oh yeah, sure, go right ahead. Oh, go right ahead. Oh boy, go right ahead. Because instead of building more houses and using up all of that land that you could use to build more housing and use all of those funds that you have, that excess tax revenue, that tax revenue that you tax the people of California out of up to their fucking eyeballs, you're not putting that towards the people. You're not putting that towards the people. So by you doing that, you're not helping your own people. You're just letting them go live under every bridge like, fuck them. But yes, this entire country is circling the drain. This entire country is circling the fucking drain. This is why I'm less worried about a Chinese spy balloon. This is why I'm less worried about this and that. Do you know what it's a sign of? It's a sign of moral decay. That's what it is. It's a sign of moral decay. It's a sign of the end of the American empire. This is what it is. When you see homeless people shitting in the streets of San Francisco, when you see homeless people in New York City, when you see homelessness on the rise, even in places that never had homelessness before, like even certain parts of Florida are seeing this problem. You're seeing this in all these different places. We're even seeing it here in Massachusetts, which definitely has homelessness, but the level of unsheltered people is relatively low. Because unlike the other parts, there's actually instances of where we're actually bucking the trend on some of these things, despite the problems that we're having. Maura Healey brings in a transit professional to run the team. Says it's a new time for a new way to do business. Governor Maura Healey appoints Philip Eng as new MBTA general manager. So meanwhile, while Massachusetts is bucking the trend on the decay that is what the U.S. is going into, according to the New York Post, over 500,000 people left California in 2 years. This was from a month ago. Now, people are leaving all sorts of different places. There were 50,000 people that left this state. There were tons of people that have left Florida. There are people that are moving all around the country because they're trying to find better places. Gentrification, that's what it all comes down to. Sabrina Salvati has talked about this a whole bunch of times on her channel. It comes down to the fact that, yeah, out of all the places, no, there has not been any place in this country where more people have left than California. When Maura Healey came into office, she said, okay, here's what I want to do. We had a lot of people leave this state as of late. But most of them have either, some of them have moved, there's a lot more people, more often than not, generally move out west in this state, because that kind of pushes them further and further away to find a place where they can live, which is generally in the western part, which is more cheaper than the eastern part, so that probably explains it. But she thinks, what can I do to make this state better? What is Maura Healey doing? What is Maura Healey doing to make Massachusetts better. What is she doing? Well, let's see. One of the things, Healey plans for her housing secretary finds welcoming audience in legislature. Governor Healey's proposed tax cuts aim to keep people from leaving Massachusetts. Healey Driscoll to testify on $742 million tax relief package. So basically, $742 million tax relief for low-income families. Man, that's a progressive tax reform. This state actually passed comprehensive tax for the wealthy. The wealth tax. I voted for the wealth tax, as a matter of fact. I didn't vote for Maura Healey because I didn't vote for anyone in this past election because I just didn't know who to trust. But if I could go back, I definitely probably would have voted for her. But besides the point, one of the things I did vote for on the ballot, I didn't vote for either or. I just wrote down, I don't know. That's literally what I wrote on the ballot. I don't know, because I don't trust either party. But Maura Healey seems to be a rare voice in the Democrats in comparison. But it's just completely crazy that we're seeing a bucking trend on leadership. And I'm not saying I agree with Maura Healey on everything. I have my disagreements with her 100%. I definitely have my disagreements with her. There's no question about it. I disagree with her position on teachers' unions. She doesn't agree with teachers striking. I disagree with that. I definitely don't agree with her endorsing Biden. I hate Biden, but whatever. Maura Healey's her own person. And so far, I'm liking what she's doing. I'm not saying I don't get confidence in any damn politician. None whatsoever. But I'm giving Maura Healey a chance, and what I'm seeing that's coming out of her and coming out of Kim Driscoll, who has been a great mayor for Salem. She was the mayor of Salem for like 17 years, and a great mayor, by the way. I think it was 16 or 17 years. Great mayor for Salem. So Maura Healey is more progressive than Biden, and what she's doing is something that should have been done in California or New York or someplace like that a long fucking time ago. But those places are not progressive. The people who run those places are not progressive. The real progressivism comes from here. The real progressivism comes from here. And I'm not saying we don't got problems in this state. Oh, we do. Oh, we do. We definitely have a housing shortage. We definitely have a housing shortage. Because one of the biggest things that is going to help is build more affordable housing in near transit. Build more affordable housing just in general, appointing a housing secretary to fix the problem, cutting taxes for the low income people and the middle class like myself. That tax relief going out to people. That's what's going to alleviate the housing crisis. We're facing a housing shortage in Massachusetts and in many other parts of this country. But the difference is we got a person who's in office now that's thinking, what can we do about that? But what's California doing about it? They're not doing anything. They're not doing anything to keep those 500,000 people. And it's going to be more. I was talking with a friend of mine from California, Kaz Warfox. Kaz Warfox was saying, oh my God, I just can't wait to get the fuck out of here. Like, I can't wait. Adam says he can't wait. My dear friend Adam on the channel, my co-host, can't wait. My friend Space Voyager, he can't wait to get the fuck out. California's decay is an example of the U.S.'s decay. But why is there this little part of the country that seems to be bucking the trend on this decay? So we're seeing a business-friendly progressive, I mean, whatever. Maura Healey, she might be progressive. I don't know what she really is. She's like a business-friendly Democrat. Let's just call her that. Cutting taxes, proposing tax cuts, even in the face of people that think, no, we shouldn't do that. That's going to alleviate, that's going to do this, that's going to do that. Well, you think that's going to hurt people? No, that's going to help people. Because that's going to help. That's actually going to help. I got my state taxes back And they were bigger than they were last year. They were $200 more. Thank you, Maura Healey. Thank you, Governor Healey. I appreciate it. But it just comes down to that. So 500,000 people left, and there's people leaving all different parts of the country. They're going from here, they're going here. Some are going to different parts of the state, some are going to different places and stuff like that. But this is what they do, and what they're doing with the tax money. So while Maura Healey is actually trying to do some good, because she seems to actually give a shit about the average person, but I guess in the eyes of neocons and other neoliberals that are opposed to her tax cuts, I guess according to them that's unacceptable. But the thing that drives me insane is the fact that why isn't this done nationwide? Why isn't this being done with us being overtaxed and getting nothing in return? We don't have universal health care. We don't have universal child care. We don't have universal free lunch for children. We don't have the right to just everything, just a more progressive system. We don't have it entirely. Because that's what they do. They take our money and then they run with it. Because it's corruption. It's bribery. Just like what they do with the money from the military-industrial complex. You know, the ones that they get by promoting coup d'etats and military intervention. Just like they lied about weapons of mass destruction. So why would I believe them? So why would I believe them on chemical weapons in Syria? Just like why would I believe them on Ukraine? Because that's what they're doing. This $80 billion that they're giving over to right-wing forces in Ukraine, it's not their money, and they don't give a fuck about us, and there's no consequences to them lying. So why don't we start holding these motherfuckers accountable? They should be in prison right now. George W. Bush should be in prison right now. He's a war criminal. Joe Biden should be in prison right now as well. They all should be in prison. But what do you think? The intel community, who is in bed with the security state, in Wikipedia, and the ones that smear people's Wikipedia pages like Max Blumenthal, Aaron Mate, Jimmy Dore, Jeffrey Sachs, other progressives, Vanessa Beeley, Eva Bartlett. Oh, you know the classic. Because they're in bed with them. And that's what they do. And there's no consequences to them lying. It all starts from the top to the bottom. That's where it all comes down to. It all comes down to moral decay. Because the world is crumbling. It isn't just the U.S. It's actually just the Western world in general. The Western world is dying. You would think that the third world or the global South would be suffering this problem. No, they seem to be bucking the trend. Venezuela is bucking the trend. Venezuela is doing pretty okay for itself right now, even though they're under siege by the U.S. empire, even though Cuba's under the threat of the U.S. empire, and they have been for more than 60 fucking years at this point. Nicaragua seems to be doing pretty good. Nicaragua, El Salvador, they're all improving. So while all these countries are improving, the Western world is dying, and California is dying faster than any of them combined. France is dying faster than any of them combined. Because it's time to start holding these people accountable. And when there's no consequences to them lying, then they get away with this shit. Then they seem to think that, we can get away with this shit. Because there's no consequence. If there's no consequences to them lying, well then where's the rule of law at this point? That's the problem. That's what we're facing. We're facing it. We're the most propagandized nation in the entire fucking world. We are the most propagandized country in the world. We're the world's biggest terrorists. We are. Staging chemical attacks, fake chemical attacks, arming the white helmets, arming the Nazis in Ukraine, lying about Uyghurs in concentration camps in China, lying about weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, using countries as proxies to fight other big powers on the other side of the world, just like they used Kosovo, they used Albania, in Bosnia to fight Serbia. That was a proxy war. That was Bill Clinton's legacy. Then ended up bombing the Chinese consulate in Belgrade. Serbia did nothing wrong, just like Syria did nothing wrong. Iran did nothing wrong. Cuba did nothing wrong. Venezuela did nothing wrong. Nicaragua did nothing wrong. None of them did anything wrong. And I will never bow down to the U.S. empire. I will never do it. I will never believe it. Just like why would I sit there when you lied about weapons of mass destruction? Why would I believe you on chemical weapons in Syria? Oh, but that's a different story. The UN weapons inspectors said it. Oh, you mean the same weapons inspectors that had whistleblowers that said there were no chemical weapons? And then when they said that, the OPCW covered it up? And then they were threatened? And then when Aaron Mate from the Gray Zone came out to actually talk about that, he was threatened and slandered, and is still continuing to be slandered to this very day? Because God forbid we don't agree with the U.S. way, cry me a fucking river. Cry me a fucking river, you fucking murdering pieces of shit. And I don't care. I will never submit to the U.S. empire. I will never submit to the pro-Ukrainian assholes on the left and on the right. I will not. Because I don't have confidence in any cult. I don't give a shit who it is. None whatsoever. The Ukraine left is a cult. The pro-white helmets are a bunch of cults. The white helmets are cults. The neocons and the neoliberals, the pro-Joe Biden people, they're all cults. They're cults. I'm not saying all Democrats are all Joe Biden supporters. I'm not saying all anybody. I'm just saying the general rule, the general census of these entities. That's what I'm getting at. Just like I don't stereotype all Ron DeSantis supporters. I don't stereotype all people from Florida. I don't stereotype all Trump supporters. Even though I hate Ron DeSantis, and I think he's disgusting, and I think he's a disgrace, just like I think of Trump, but Biden is no different. Because I don't hate my neighbor. I hate the establishment. My enemy is the establishment. My enemy is the empire. As I've said a million times on this channel, and I'm going to say a million times more on this channel and beyond. Because that's what it comes down to. We're a nation of propaganda run by imbeciles. It's the inmates running the asylum. It's the entire psychiatric unit running it. That's what it is. It's a sign of moral decay. And no place has it worse than California. No place has it worse than they do. None. Zero. You could say that, oh, some other places have it worse. That's not necessarily true. Because even in backward red states, like Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and so forth, they might have it bad, but you don't see homeless people running around in the streets. You don't see that there. Because yeah, it might be poorer in those areas, but at least they have a place to live. Because it's cheaper. That's the thing. There's a reason behind that. There's a reason. And it's that reason. I will never submit to the trolls. I will never submit to the establishment. I will never submit to the security state. YouTube banned one of my streams globally. No, in the face of global criticism and global censorship, I will never bow down. Because I don't care. Because I will not stand by and watch society crumble. I just won't. I will not stand by and let it happen. I will sit here and I will call it out. The Silicon Bank collapsing in California. The recent shooting in Nashville. Oh my God, a mass shooting in the U.S.? Oh, just another good old day in America. And you know what? It isn't even the gun. I'm sorry. You might think it's the guns. You know what it really comes down to? Like I said, number one, it's moral decay. It really doesn't have anything to do with the guns anymore. Somewhat, because the U.S. treats guns like a religion, they basically treat guns like like fucking babies can have guns, because my Second Amendment. Even though I'm a supporter of the Second Amendment, but there needs to be common sense safety. Because with guns, there needs to be responsibility, obviously. So, but at this point, it don't even have anything to do with the guns anymore. It almost never really had anything to do with the guns in the first place. What it really has all had to do with is just a sign of a decaying society, of mental health being underfunded. And I'm saying this as a person who works in mental health. That's the reason I even got into mental health. Because I see it. And I've seen it. For years and years, I've seen it. I've seen it. I work with people in the warming center in Revere. I work in child family services. Mental health is so underfunded. Our institutions are completely corrupt. Just like the OPCW is completely corrupt. Because the OPCW is completely corrupt. The OPCW is run and is under the behest of the frickin' security state. So if two whistleblowers from here says something against their narrative, the U.S. war state is going to coerce them into covering up that investigation. That's what they did with regards to the fake Duma attack. That's what happened. That's why Aaron Monte has been on the forefront of exposing this hoax. But we're not going anywhere. What we need to do is we need to fund mental health. Keep our guns. We can keep our guns. Because I support the Second Amendment. I do. I might have some differing opinions on the Second Amendment, but I support it. I support people's rights to own a gun. I support the right to bear arms. I do, 100%. But you know what it comes down to? Responsibility and funding mental health. Because if we funded mental health better in this country, and we had a welfare state that actually got people the help that they needed, because with universal health care, there'd be universal mental health. At least that's what I believe in. This is what it is. It's a sign of a crumbling society. It's an example of your society decaying. And it's an example of an empire scared of losing its way. But we are seeing it. And the best way for American society to improve is for the empire to end and we form an entirely new government. That's what we need. We need a revolution. We need an end to the American empire. We need an end to American hegemony and an entirely new government. A multi-party system with a welfare state where workers have rights and people have the right to health care, to education, to mental health, to a living wage, and much more. The right and to be able to put food on the table. And no matter how fortunate you are, just remember there's always going to be someone that's less fortunate than you. So whatever. Everything I have, okay, this book I bought with my own money. This laptop I bought with my own money. That TV I bought with my own money. Everything here, well, most of it. That teddy bear over there, bought with my own money. I dealt with financial issues multiple times in my life. I have. It sucks. I get it. I absolutely get it. Stephen and I do the best we can. We do the best we can. We really do. We do everything that we can. We fight. We really do. Like, we fight. Stephen provides a service of working in a food store to make sure people have food to eat when they go to sleep at night, to feed their kids, to feed their families. And I work in housing and in shelters to make sure that people actually have a roof over their heads. Because so many people don't have these things. But yeah, I'm supposed to care about fucking Ukraine. I'm supposed to care about the white helmets. I'm supposed to care about all this and that. I'm supposed to care about this and that. No, I care about my fellow Americans. I care about the people's lives abroad that the U.S. is infiltrating against. That's what I care about. I want a better society for all. And if you're struggling out there, struggling to pay for food, to pay for rent, to pay for gas, struggling to put food on your table, trust me, I feel for you. You're struggling with anything out there, I feel for you. I sincerely do. But just remember, we're all in this together. And this is what I do on this channel. I do this on this channel so that I can get the message out there about the stuff that's really going on, the stuff that the media will never tell you. Because that is what's going to bring truth out there. And by doing that, there is hope. Just always remember that. Just always remember that there is hope. That there is hope there for you and for us. But we have to stick together as revolutionaries and as comrades and as much more as we fight against the war machine and against the establishment and much more. And we will continue to do that. And I will continue to do that with Adam, with Nicholas, with Forbidden Giorno, with Rhodes, with Gotcha Tails, with Saber the Raccoon, aka Joey the Kangaroo, and many others. And we will always be here to take a stand. No matter what trolls we face, or what censorship we face, or what kind of criticism we face, we are always going to be here to take a stand. And we are going to take a stand against the establishment and the elite. And we are going to join together with each other so we can get it done. So long as it happens to be, we will keep fighting. And thank you. And everyone out there, I wish you the best. Well, that's about it for now. This is a longer video than I anticipated, but anyway, thank you all for listening. Hope you enjoyed this video, this global report. Hope you enjoyed my reading series of this. Hope you enjoyed all of the content I put out there. Stay tuned for more, and stay tuned for my stream tomorrow at 7 p.m. Look out for it. I will send out a time window so that way you guys can get notifications of when the stream begins. Discord will be open. You all are invited. Adam is invited. Joey's invited. Nicholas is invited. Scotty Boy's invited. Gotcha Tails invited. You're all invited. Because I love to sit there and talk with you guys. Because I love you guys. You guys are the best. You guys are the best fans I could ever ask for. You all are the best fans I could ever ask for. Because I couldn't do it without you guys. I really couldn't. And I appreciate you guys. You guys are my friends. You guys are my homies. You guys are my comrades. And I appreciate you all. And I love you all. And you all are in my heart. You all really are. You all are sincerely in my heart. And you all will always have my support. Us together as the Z Crew. Anyway, thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next one. I'll see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. with my stream. Look out for it, and more stuff on the way, including more readings of this book coming your way soon. This is Zach the Celtics Guy saying thank you for watching, and I wish you the best, and I'll see you all in the next one, and including tomorrow night, and I'll see you all next time. Bye for now. Take care. Have yourselves a great night, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe, stay well, stay classy, be well, and keep fighting. Keep on rocking. Until next time, peace out and good night. So long.